With the long-awaited Lucifer Part 2 of the 5th season finally releasing on the big screen, many fans were confused by the ending of it, and many of them still need a little bit more explanation as to what exactly happened and how it happened in the first place. And today, we're going to talk about just that. We'll explain the ending of the second part of the 5th season, go paragraph by paragraph, and pinpointing some of the main topics to connect the dots.
There's no need for violence.
They were going to kill you.
Season 5B last episode. Now before we continue with our journey, if you don't know it yet or you haven't watched the whole season, there might be some spoilers up ahead. You've been warned, so with that out of the picture, let's continue. Starting off with the episode that ended it all, the last episode of the second part of the 5th season, A Chance at a Happy Ending. It starts off with Michael arriving at Lux with an offer for Lucifer. With the death of Dan Espinoza still fresh in Lucifer's mind, he lashes at Michael when he tells him that he could get his old job back as the ruler of hell. However, on the other side, with the flaming sword and the angels on his side, Michael would be victorious in his efforts to rule heaven. Michael tries to force Lucifer to accept the deal by saying that Chloe is the one responsible for Dan's death. And with Michael's men carrying out all of this means that Chloe is definitely going to hell, joining Lucifer as the fragile immortal that she is.
I held on to tell you. It's Caleb. Caleb.
Okay, I hear you.
And if Lucifer wants to spend the whole eternity with Chloe, he would agree to all this and return to hell and keep her company. And this is the chance for Lucifer's happy ending. But he's not about to go down with a fight. He meets with Chloe and admits he has been going about his quest to be God all wrong, and with her fragile heart at the end of it all, and soon for her to be part of hell, Lucifer sees the whole situation much more complex than he thought. After Chloe explains to Lucifer that she can't simply stop feeling guilt over Dan's death, her guilt is compounded when she discovers that Dan's soul is now suffering in hell.
Please tell me it's not true, Lucifer. I know you'll tell me because you never lie. So tell me it's not true.
Remiel arrives to interrupt this heartbreaking scene but dies immediately. The two examine the wounds on Remiel and realize that Michael hasn't yet constructed the flaming sword. He's still missing one piece, Amenadiel's necklace. The piece that locks Azrael's blade and the Medallion of Life together to create the flaming sword, which is also the most powerful weapon in the whole universe. Lucifer tracks the necklace, but Michael manages to take it. What was Lucifer's plan to fight Michael? The last episode of the season was full of thoughts from various characters about standing up to the fight and accepting death while fighting for the greater good, even if that means making an ultimate sacrifice, after which we see Lucifer and Chloe accepting this journey in the season finale. When Lucifer tries to reason with the angels on Michael's side, he's unsuccessful, and thus a fight breaks out, and even with Amenadiel, Mazikeen, Eve, Chloe, Zadkiel, and a whole bunch of newly hell-sent souls from a crashed prison transport on his side, Lucifer is not able to beat Michael, which is understandable when we know that he has the flaming sword which is able to kill Lucifer, and anyone standing in the way. However, as always, Chloe and Lucifer have a plan. While Lucifer is fighting with Michael, Chloe would dart into the fight, ripping the lock key from the sword and disabling it, giving Lucifer a chance to seal it. Meanwhile, Lucifer picks up Azrael's blade, only to see her appear on his side. With Lucifer distracted for a moment from all this, Michael stabs Chloe with Zadkiel's staff and kills her. Mazikeen is moved by the moment snaps, and a war breaks out between the angels and demons, the ultimate face-off.
I'm confident this one is all mine.
How did Chloe come back to life? As Chloe lies dying in Lucifer's arms, she tells him that individually they all made their own choice to participate in the fight, that includes her, and that she knows that she's not guilty for Dan's death. As she says this, her soul ascends to heaven. Michael feels smug about this turn of events because he knows what's coming. Lucifer will either go to heaven or die trying. These are the terms of his banishment. The devil understands and decides to sacrifice himself to bring her back. In heaven, Chloe enjoys an idyllic moment with her dead father before Lucifer crashes the scene. He hasn't died instantly because he's wearing the Lilith's ring, which grants the wearer immortality. Discovering that when a person finally faces their guilt in hell, their soul ascends. Chloe is reluctant to escape heaven at first, but her death leaves her daughter Trixie an orphan. With Lucifer's time running out, he gives the Lilith's ring to Chloe, placing it as an engagement ring on her hand. He tells her that he loves her, and her soul returns to her body, resurrecting her on Earth. And as for Lucifer, it appears that this is the end of him.
No, you don't have to do that.
I choose you, Chloe.
How did Lucifer return from heaven? Knowing that a sixth and final season has been announced by Netflix, of course Lucifer is not dead, the series would not be the same without him, and if it wasn't for the late renewal status of the series, this would have probably been the end for Lucifer, but here we are, with yet another season to be seen. Chloe fights Michael while wearing the ring, making her more than a match for him, and as she debates about slitting Michael's throat, she hears a familiar voice shout "Detective!" It's of course Lucifer, and he's very much not dead. Chloe gives Azrael's blade to him, with which he starts to wield the flaming sword against Michael. Their fight was supposed to be to the death, but Lucifer decides to slice Michael's wings off, telling him that everyone deserves a second chance after one being given to Lucifer, but he doesn't know how exactly that happened or by whom. The angels and the demons understand that Lucifer has won the war, and they all kneel to him, including Michael. Lucifer lifts the flaming sword aloft hesitantly, saying "Oh my me," exclaiming in the process.
Oh my me.
Is Lucifer God now? As it stands now, it appears that Lucifer has now been accepted by angels and demons as the new ruler of the universe. But we should remember that we haven't yet seen any proof that he is now all-powerful. God may have retired, leaving his successor to take over, but we won't know if this is true or not until the next 6th season of the show, in which we might see what powers does Lucifer have and what his powers will be towards hell, heaven, and earth. If he is indeed God, we will definitely see changes in the way things are run. Maybe he'll even rescue Dan's soul from hell. We still don't know the details, but we will soon enough. Will Lucifer still help Chloe and Ellis solve murder cases in Los Angeles? Because it feels like he might be too busy running the universe after all this. Although we can't imagine not creating at least a little downtime for a few piano numbers in the next season, the 6th season will explain many things on how things have ended in this season, and what all this means for the future, and all the loose ends tied for good.
I was just gonna say the same thing to you.
Chloe, how many times do we have to go through this? Your bullets can't hurt me.
On a related note, tell us down in the comments below which part of the last season of Lucifer has been your favorite and why. And also don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.